guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a little date night get ready with me using the Kat Von D Satan Center palette. I have already used this palette in two other looks. I used it in a day look and then also more of like a fun look. So tonight, or today, I wanted to do a little more of a sultry look. So like a little bit more date night appropriate or girls night, whatever you want to call it. I do have my hair in like soft curls. I figured that was kind of date night appropriate. I have kind of like smoothed them out so they look a little bit more smoother. And then, so now we're just going to do some date night eyes. So actually what I did do, I went and showed my husband a group of pictures and I was like, so if I were to wear one of these makeup looks, which one would you prefer? So he showed me an eye look that he really liked. So I'm going to kind of try to recreate that. Let me go ahead and show you the picture of it. Hang on. Let me get it up here for you. So this is the eye look that he says that he thinks is the most sophisticatedly sexy looking eye. So this is the eye look he liked. So I'm going to try to recreate a little bit like that. So that's what he thinks is a sexy date night eye. So we're going to try to do that. He says the lips really make it look sexy too. So, which surprised me because I didn't think he liked the red color lipstick. So I do have a red lipstick, but it's a little bit different. I have the Glitter Flip by Ciatè London. So I'm going to try that because why not? Why not make it a little bit fun? So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to try to recreate this look that he says is a very date night appropriate eye. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and prime my eyelids. I'm going to use the Kat Von D, the high voltage eye primer. So I'm going to use that to prime my eyelids with. I'm going to slide in a little bit so that you guys can see me a little bit better too. So I'm going to get as close as I can so you can see my eyes. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this on my finger. You only need a tiny, tiny little bit of this. So that's all you need. And then I'm just going to put that on my eyelids. And then we're going to smooth that out using my beauty blender. So I'm going to grab the beauty blender. I'm going to wipe the rest of it off on my beauty blender. And then I've got the Beauty Blender Pro here I'm using. I'm just going to help to get rid of any kind of discoloration. So as for the rest of my face, I'm wearing on my cheeks as far as blush, I'm wearing the Tarte Blush Bazaar palette. As far as highlight, I'm wearing the Hourglass, the Ambient Metallic Strobe Lighting palette. And then brows, I'm wearing the It Cosmetics Brow, I think it's called the Brow Power or something like that. And that is it. That's on my face. Oh, foundation. I'm wearing the Stila, it's this one here. It's the Stila Stay All Day Cover Powder Finish and Foundation and Cream Concealer. So I'm wearing that as my foundation today. It is a little bit dark for me, so I kind of blended it all the way down my neck so that way there it looks a little bit better. I think it looks okay like that. At least then it all matches anyway. So now we're going to go ahead and go in with this palette. And I'm going to use the color Amen first. I'm going to use my Real Techniques brush. This is just a big fluffy, not concealer brush, but a, what do they call it? A crease brush, a deluxe crease brush. I'm going to use my color switch and make sure there's no color on this since I am going with a very light color. I want to make sure that it's clean. So I'm going to use Amen and I'm just going to dip into there. And that's the first color I'm going to use to set my eyelids. So in the picture that she has here, it looks like her eye look kind of goes out more in a V and she's got a pretty dramatic wing. So I suck at a wing, so we'll see how well I can do with that. We'll see if we can do any good at that. Okay, so there's that set. I'm just gonna set the other side. And then it looks like she's got a little bit of brown coming in and then the dark smoky black coming out this way. So that's what we're gonna do. It's gonna be a little bit different. I'm stepping outside of my box a little bit today. So I'm gonna go in first with the brown shade that it looks like she's using. So I'm gonna use this fluffy brush right here. I'm going to use the shade, she's got more of like a deeper brown. I'm gonna use Crucifix. So I'm gonna go in with that first. Tap that off. And then we're just gonna start blending this in. And then blending, blending, blending. It's just gonna be a whole lot of blending here. So there is the brown color. That looks like it's going to be a good representation of what she's using. I'm going to take mine a little further up because I got to kind of go by what my eye shape is. I can't really go by her eye shape. Her eye shape's completely different than mine, so I'm going to make it look as close as I can to what hers does, but according to my eye shape. I'm going to take it up and blend it out. We're going to smoke this baby out. I'm going way further out than what I normally would, but I'm going to go in with the black too with that. And I'm not going to bring this in very far at all. I want to keep it right about center. And I'm just going to keep on smoking that out, blending, blending, blending. So you guys see what it looks like so far? So this is a Pinterest look. I was looking on Pinterest trying to get some ideas for something a little bit different. And then I was like, why not ask my husband what he thinks is a really beautiful date night eye? And then I was like, I showed him a couple different pictures, and then he picked that one. And it kind of surprised me, like I said, because I didn't think he'd like that lip. I was like, really? He's like, that's what to me makes it very sexy. So that's interesting. So I'm going back in with crucifix to start on the other side. So I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to bring it in and take it out. This is basically what I would normally do, but we're just going to go in. It looks like we're just going to go in with like maybe 3 colors, because it looks like for the inner portion, she's just using, I'm trying to make sure I'm getting this right because I don't want to mess it up. Well, it's not like I can mess it up because I'm not going to be a perfectionist. But it looks like she's just using more of a cream and taking it back into the brown and then taking it back into the black. So it looks like 3 colors is all she's really using. So I think we can handle this. We have to do a little bit more like this, inspired eyes. This is a pretty cool idea because now I feel like I have something to kind of go by, like a little bit of guide. And then you guys can see how good or bad I do at it. But honestly, as long as it turns out okay, I'm going to be okay with it. I don't really care that it's going to be perfection. I'm one of those, I've told you guys before, that I like to just play with makeup. I know I'm not a makeup artist, so I just like to play. So I'm just going to keep doing this, blending, blending, blending. My husband picked up 2 eyeshadow palettes for me while he was out of town. So I was really surprised when he brought them home, because I don't think he knows that I'm actually cruelty-free. So the 2 palettes he bought me are not cruelty-free, but I am not going to take them back, because anything that your husband ever buys you and it has to do with something that you love, you know you're going to keep it. So I'm going to keep them anyway. That's okay. I'm not going to be upset that he didn't know that I was cruelty-free with my makeup. He probably has no idea about half the stuff that I own in the first place, so I was impressed he got me 2 palettes that I don't even have. So that made me excited. He gets really into my hobbies, though. Whatever like I'm into, he's very much supportive, which is really awesome. So like I used to, well, I still do. I scrapbook, and then like he was really supportive of that. I started up like a little scrapbook. I sold like scrapbook supplies and stuff. So I'm going to blend that out a little bit more up into there. Let me see how she's got hers. I think I might be going a little off course a little bit here. No, I think we're okay. Okay, so now I'm going to clean my brush off. Clean, clean, clean. And I'm going to go ahead and do the brow bone just because I know I want to get that done. I'm going to go back in with Amen because there's not really a white in here besides there's Amen, there's Baptism, which has a pink undertone, and then there's Absolution, but that has a lot of sparkle to it, and I don't want the sparkle. So I'm just going to go back into Amen. Actually, I'm going to use a smaller brush here too. I'm going to go back in and I'm going to use the Sigma Small Tapered Blending Brush. I'm going to use the Amen shade. And I'm going to start carving out my brow bone because I don't want to go up too far into there. I want to make sure it stays down. But yeah, like I was saying, he's very supportive of whatever I do. So that just always makes me happy. So like whenever he supports something that I'm doing and he buys something to kind of support it, I'm never upset about it whatsoever. Okay, so now as far as bringing it, I'm going to go ahead and clear up the inner portion too. Actually, no, let's go ahead and do the black. I'm lying. Let's go ahead and do the black. So now I'm going to go in with my one that looks like little whales on it, but it's actually called a sperm whale brush, which is so weird. I'm going to go into Sabbath, and I'm going to start using that to start with the black. I'm going to set my palette down, and I'll just tell you guys each time I go back into Sabbath, I'm going to kind of look at the picture as a guide a little bit to see how she's did this. Okay, so she's just darkened it up a little bit more out here and then bring it out. So she's not really taking it up much. It's just coming out. going to go up just a little bit, but more out. So we'll see how that looks with my eye shape. I'm not sure that's going to be a perfect for my eye shape. So I'm going back into Sabbath again. Like I told you, I'll tell you guys when I go back into Sabbath. So I'm going to get just a little bit more on my brush. I'm going to take this out. I'm going to blend a little bit more to make these look a little bit more blended together. Because right now I feel like it looks a little bit patchy, a little bit piecey. I'm going to go back into Sabbath again. I'm going to go onto the other side. And then like I said, she took it out like this. So she's going up and over. Okay, so we're going to blend here in a second. I think we're just about there. It looks very, very deep and dark right now. Oh, look. Actually, it looks a little scary to me, to be honest. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with a clean brush. This is the Royal Langnickel, the crease brush. And now I'm just going to blend out. I'm going to blend everything outwards. I'm not going to bring it in because I don't want to bring any of that darkness inwards. So I'm just going to keep blending out. Blend, blend, blend. Make sure I blend up to blend out. Out, out, out. And blend this up here. We'll clean that all up too. No worries. We'll clean this up here. Okay. It's looking pretty good. I think we need to take that in just a little bit more right there to match the other side. We'll see how good we can do with a wing too today. I'm not so certain how the wing is going to turn out. What did she do to her bottom lashes? You know what? I didn't even look at that part, or the bottom lash line. You can't really tell. So I'm assuming she just kind of got it, she's got it smoked out. She's got her eyes closed, so you can't really tell what she did to the bottom. So we're just going to, excuse me, we're going to smoke that out there. We just got through eating lunch, so. Okay, now I'm going to go into Amen. And I'm going to start packing that on. I'm going to mix Amen and Baptism because I think that might make it pop a little bit more. And I'm just going to start putting that on the center portion right here and taking that back. But I want to make sure that those all blend together and like very smoothly. It actually looks pretty good with that too. So I'm going to go back in and do the same thing. I'm going to do a little bit of Amen and a little bit of Baptism. So I'm kind of rolling my brush around in it. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing for the crease, I mean not the crease, but the brow bone highlight. I'm going to do the same thing, dip in both, top off, just to make that pop a little bit more. These are nice matte shades. Do the other side. And then we'll smooth that out a little bit. And then we're going to blend that together just a little bit. I'm going to go back in with the first brush I started with, which was the Real Techniques brush. I'm going to go up there and just kind of blend these together a little bit more right there so that there's no harsh lines. And then here I'm just going to pull this back. You guys know that's how I always do it. I'm going to clean it off again. I'm just going to pull back and then we're going to blend up in here. Okay. So there that is. Now I'm going to go ahead and go in with some eyeliner. I'm going to use the Kat Von D, this is the tattoo liner. So I'm going to pump it. Oh man, I just smacked it all over my thumb. I was going to sing too. Pump it. Louder. Pump it. Isn't that the, who is that? Is that Fergie? No. Black Eyed Peas, maybe? Okay, so I'm going to see if I can create a little bit of a wing here. Give us a little bit of drama. So my most hooded part, which is right here, so I'm going to try not to go too far above that. Let's see what kind of drama we can create here. Hopefully you guys can see. My eyes are very hooded, so it's hard to do an actual wing. So I'm just going to do a baby wing. Maybe I'll try to do it this way. I'll bring it up. Let's see how crappy this turns out. This could be a complete fail. Okay, we've got a little bit of a wing. And we'll clean up below there and everything when we start doing with concealer. So I don't want to take up too much of my lid space since I do have hooded eyes. But I want to make sure that it's not looking lumpy. Get a smooth application. Okay, I'm going to start on the other side. For some reason, I think I can create a wing better on this side. I can go up, and I feel like I can do it better on this side for some reason. So I'm going to be flying a little sideways, but that's alright. After a couple bottles or a couple glasses of wine, I'm sure I'll be flying sideways anyway, right? On date night. So now I'm going to go in just because I want to make sure that there's none of that white there showing. Just going to go in. Oh man, did I just get it on my lid? Hope not. If I did, we can fix it though. No big deals. Trying to get underneath a little bit there. Not bring it down too much though. I think we need an actual, you know what, here's what we'll do. I'm not going to try to use this on that portion because that's going to be a little too hard. I'm going to go in with a flat brush. I'm going to use, I don't have my one that I would typically use. So I'm going to use this little flat brush right here, which is the ColourPop one. I'm going to dip into the black, which is the Sabbath and the Kat Von D palette. And I'm going to try to fill in a little bit of that so that you can't see the skin underneath. I did order myself the It Cosmetics, the Tightline brush, so hopefully once that gets here, I will be loving life being able to do my eyeliner like this. I did also order my It Cosmetics, the Bye Bye Pores, which I thought I ordered it with my other order, but I didn't, so I did go ahead and get that, so that should be in soon too. Okay. Again, I'm basically just trying to get rid of any of the, where you see skin underneath. I don't want to see that. I'm just dipping back and forth into Sabbath. Trying to get rid of any of those, the skin, so that it all looks like one big line and it makes your eyelashes look nice and thick and very romantic like, which I hope so anyway. Okay, so now I'm going to clean up underneath and then we'll finish the eye look up with lashes. So clean up, I'm going to use my Urban Decay Naked Skin. This was on sale at Ulta, so I was able to pick up 2 of these. This is still my old one right now, but I picked up the same color because I like that this is not super, like, different color than what my skin is. I like that it's not over, what is the word I'm trying to use? Over highlighted. I couldn't even think. I've had a lot of that this week. I'm having so many brain farts. I may have to go back in and fix my blush after this. So I'm going to go in with this and just clean up underneath. I need to tilt my mirror a little bit so I can see what I'm doing here. Try not to get my wing. That looks not the greatest in the first place. I don't want to mess it up though. So just clean. Just tap, 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 trying to get that to go in nice and smooth so I don't have super crease underneath my eyes. So there is the eye so far. It looks very, actually I kind of like it. It looks very sexy. So maybe he was right. Maybe he knows what he's talking about here. Who knew? Might have to let him pick out some more looks. We should maybe let him do my makeup one time. That would be awesome. I'm trying to talk him into doing that, but I have not been successful so far. Okay, now I'm going to set this, and since you guys know I do not have my IT Cosmetics, I'm going to use this. I'm going to try this because I've heard lots of people say they do it, and I've tried it too, but it's been a while. I'm going to use the Ambient Dim Light in the lighting palette, so I'm going to use this shade right here. I'm going to just tap my wet, well, damp beauty blender in it, and I'm just going to see if that helps to set my under eye. See if it works. I've heard lots of people say that they use it for that. They use it for finishing powder and setting powders, so let's give it a shot. Why not be a little fancy about it, right? Use some Hourglass stuff. I always go from the outer portion in, because here's where I feel like that crease the most is right in here. So I always try to put most of the powder down out here so that I don't crease as much in here. Because it feels like if I put more powder in here, then it gets really creasy and bad looking. Okay, so I need to clean up my eyelid there where I did goof. And then I went ahead and pulled my favorite mascara, the Ciatè Extreme Huge. I went ahead and pulled one of those out of my stash because I'm like, you know what? If I'm doing a date night look, I want to use my favorite mascara. So now I'm going to go ahead and curl my lashes, and then we'll clean up afterwards because I'm sure I'm going to have mascara all over it anyway. So I'm going to do a little bit of pumping. There's that. I like that this is all matte too. It looks very, I don't know, it's very good for me and my aging eyelids. So it's nothing a whole lot of craziness going on in here. I like that it's all matte. And that's how her eye look was that he chose. So I'm liking it. Not too shabby there. Okay, gonna go ahead and get my favorite mascara out and open here. Oh my gosh. New tube. So now I'm going to start using this. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. If I was like real fancy, I would learn how to put lashes on for a date night. What do you think? But I'm not that fancy. I don't have my pinky out. I'm not that fancy. Try to sit up a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing here. I always feel like I'm blocking half the screen with my big old man hands. Okay, so there's one eye. So far I'm liking it. Going to the other side. We'll go back in with another coat of mascara just to make sure that it, oh man, I just got it all over my lid. No big deal. We'll fix it. Okay, go back over here a little bit more. I'm really liking his little date night eye that he chose. I kind of don't want anything on the bottom lash line. I kind of like it like this, but I may end up putting something there anyway. Probably do need something to pull it all together. And we need the inner corner highlight too. Okay, so there are lashes. Lashes are done. Do you see this mascara? Isn't it great? I know. It's my favorite. I love this mascara. And I don't put it on my bottom lash line. And so that's okay. That's how I typically do it anyway. So for me, it's good. This is a little bit longer of a video, but doing something a little bit different. So May not look completely different than what I normally do, but believe me, it was a little bit harder to do this time. Okay, let me let that dry just a little bit longer because I'm afraid that's not all the way dry yet. So now I'm going to go in with a little brush here. This is a flat shader brush by Bodyography. So I'm going to go in and do pretty much the same colors I did before. I'm going to go in with the Sabbath. Tap it off on the mirror here. And I'm going to smoke this out on my bottom lash line. So there is Sabbath. And then I'm going to go in on the other side and do Sabbath again. Hopefully you guys were able to see what I was doing there. Wasn't even thinking that I was filming, duh. So there is Sabbath again. And now I'm going to go back in. I'm going to clean it off on my color switch. I'm going to go into Crucifix, which is the brown shade. Go into Crucifix. I'm going to do a little bit of the brown right here. And bring that in a little bit. And then we're going to smoke this out a little bit more. So I'm going to go into Crucifix again. Okay, now I'm going to clean my brush off and we're going to go ahead and get the inner corner portion done. So clean my brush. I need more blush on, see what it looks like. Looks like my blush is not strong enough, so I may have to pause you guys so I can get a little bit more blush on so you guys can see the finished complete look. Okay, so now I'm going to go and I'm going to switch in between Baptism and Amen like I did for everything else. And I'm just going to start putting that right here. Hopefully you can see. And I'm going to take that to the center. To the inner portion, I mean. So that's just going to kind of clean it up a little bit right there. So I'm going to do the same thing, Amen and Baptism. And just kind of smoke that right here. Just to kind of clean that up a little bit right there. And then we're going to do a highlight in the center too. Oh, I just wiped away some makeup. Good job, Tiff. Okay. Now I'm going to smoke that out a little bit more, everything else. So I'm going to clean off my brush a little bit. And we're going to smoke out just a little bit. Okay, so there it is smoked out. I'm going to do my inner portion, my inner, oh my gosh, my inner corner highlight. So I'm going to go in with Absolution, which is what I typically would use anyway. So I'm going to go in with that on the tip of my pinky here. And I'm just going to dab that a little bit right there. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Dab. And there is the inner corner highlight. So now I'm just going to clean up my eyelid. So I do have my little handy dandy Q-tip. I'm going to clean this up. Make sure I get off anything that doesn't belong on the lid. We don't want to take away from all the work that we did up here. Alright. So there is that portion. There is the eye look complete. So I'm going to have to, again, let me see what I can do with, I'm going to use a dry beauty blender to just clean up underneath my eyes a little bit. Make sure there's no fallout. Alright, so now I'm going to go grab my blush. Actually, it's here, but I need to grab a blush brush. So hang tight, guys. Okay, I grabbed my blush. So I have the blush here. I'm going to put a little bit more onto my cheeks. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to use the shade what is that? Skillful. I was trying to figure out what shade that name was. So here's the shade Skillful. I'm going to go in and use a little bit of that onto my cheeks just to give it a little bit more color here because I feel like the eye look needs just a little bit more, just a little bit darker onto the cheeks. We'll blend that out a little bit too so we don't go in too crazy. We'll go in just a little bit more. Plus I think I took some away when I did the concealer. I think that might have messed some of it up. So just blushing it on. Blush, blush. My cheeks eat blush anyway, so for me, if I put a lot of blush on, it isn't going to matter because before the end of the night, it's going to be all gone anyway. My face is going to be like, hey, that was really good, thank you. Okay, so now I'm going to go in and put a little bit more highlight on as well. So I'm using the Luxie brush and I'm using the Hourglass palette. I'm going to use the shade up here, which is the more bronzy shade. I'm going to use that shade right here. Tap that off and just give myself a little bit more of a glow. So there we go. Straight down the nose. And there is that. So there is my date night sultry look so far, guys. I need to put my lips on. All right. My hair's looking a little bit crazy. All right. I was hoping for it to look a little bit more sexy, but right now it's looking a little bit like I just might have got electrocuted. All right, so I'm going to use the Ciatè London Glitter Flip. So this, if you guys have never seen this before, what you have to do with it, you have to put it on and then you have to wait a little bit for it to dry. And then once it dries, it's magic. So let's go ahead and do this. So since he said he likes the red bold lip, this is definitely red. It's definitely bold. So here we go. This is going to be a little time consuming. So I'm going to pull the mirror up close to myself so that I don't get this all over myself. Actually, let me make sure my lips are clean. Because you don't want anything on your lips. No lickety splits. Okay, here we go. I need a little bit more. Hopefully you guys can see. I wasn't even looking to see if I was blocking your view or not. You don't want to put your lips together yet? I can't laugh. Uh-oh. Oh, I went outside the lawn a lot. Okay. No, you just gotta let it dry for a second. It doesn't look so pretty right now. It looks kind of uglier, actually. I think I might have messed up a little bit. Oh, okay, so once you let it dry for a second, I think you let it dry for like 2 minutes or something like that. So it should be almost ready to go. So once you let it dry, then you can put your lips together and see the magic happen. So I think it's 2 minutes. Let me see. Or at least I'm really silly. It says one even coat, 1 minute. So I think we're good. You see the sparkles? My coat might be super even because I think I might have messed up with my bottom lip line. Do you see all the sparkles though? It's the glitter lip. Okay, so there that is. I may have to fix the bottom part a little bit because I feel like the bottom I messed up on quite a bit actually. So I'm gonna, I don't know if you should do it this way or not, but I'm gonna do it anyway. We'll see what happens. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ah! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay, look. We're gonna nix this because, oh my gosh, this is a mess. I don't know if I can handle this. Oh my gosh. Look, it's going way up here. We're gonna mess up the whole entire makeup look. Oh my God, it doesn't come off. Oh my gosh. What the heck? What did I just do? Oh my gosh, look at my face now, guys. What the heck? Oh my gosh. I'm gonna get it all from my chair. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it doesn't come off. It's like super glue. Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't like the glitter flip. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Oh my gosh, no. No, no, no. Oh my gosh, look at my face. I look like a clown. Oh my goodness. I need to use some concealer and clean that up. There's no way that's happening, okay? We're not doing glitter flip. We're gonna, oh my gosh, look at the heck. I made a huge mess. So we're just gonna, oh my gosh. See if we can clean this up. Oh my gosh, that was a mess. No, I do not like that whatsoever. So no glitter flip for me. I tried it before and I think I might have just taken my good old time with it because you definitely can't just throw that on. That's not happening. No, 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 just no. What color is this? Cashmere. I need a red. Do I not have a red lip? Are you serious? Are you serious? Oh my goodness. Here we go. What is this? Oh, it's the Bare Minerals one. Actually, it's a pretty good one. So we'll use this. Oh, my fingers are stained. Ugh. Gross. Okay. This is like an orangey red. This is gonna work, I think. I hope. Okay, we need some more. That was just a mess, guys. Oh my goodness. I do not like the glitter flip. I do not like the glitter flip. No, 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 no. Okay. This is more my speed right here. It's like a Kool-Aid stain. I'll take the Kool-Aid stain versus the Glitterazzi. They're not as bold as he wanted, but you know what? Sorry, guys. They're not as bold as he wanted, but there's no way I would do that glitter flip. If I had more time, I would look through my drawer and find a better lip, but this is going to be it for now. That's it. So you guys have to let me know, what do you think I did for the eye look? My lips, ignore those. Just ignore them. Oh my gosh. Just ignore the lips. So here is her eye look. And here is my eye look, how it turned out. Of course, my eye shape is going to be different than hers. And I'm older probably by at least 20 years than her. So I just would like to see what you guys think of it. If this is a date night appropriate look, if you think so. Anyway, that is the end of the video today. We had a little bit of fiasco here going on today. Let me know what you think of this palette if you're going to get it. Those are the 3 looks that I wanted to do with this palette here. I'm going to be moving on to a different palette, so just stay tuned to what palette I'm going to be doing 3 different looks with. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later.